Hey, 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 welcome back to another episode. I'm Alex.
And I'm Emma. And if this is your first time here, welcome. Genuinely, we are so glad you found us.
So today we're talking about something that comes up in our DMs probably more than anything else, and that is how do you actually speak English fluently? Like, not just know English, but speak it confidently without freezing up.
Yes, and I want to say something right at the top here because I think it matters. Knowing English and speaking English are two completely different skills.
Say that again.
Knowing English and speaking English are two completely different skills. You could have an incredible vocabulary, you could understand every grammar rule in the book, and still, the moment someone asks you a question, your mind goes blank, your heart starts racing, and suddenly you can't remember a single word.
That has happened to me in Spanish, by the way. I studied Spanish for 3 years. I know Spanish. But the moment a native speaker actually talks to me, I panic every single time.
Right. And that's because fluency isn't about what's in your head, it's about what comes out of your mouth automatically, naturally, without you having to think about it.
So that's what we're getting into today. And we've broken this down into things you can actually start doing, not theory, real stuff.
Love it. Let's go.
Okay, the first thing, and this might sound obvious, but it's not, is that you need to stop translating in your head.
Oh, this is huge.
Right? Because most people, when they learn a second language, their brain does this. They think in their first language, then they translate the sentence into English, then they say it. And that process takes time, which is why there's always this little delay, this little pause.
And it feels awkward to you and to the person you're talking to.
Exactly. So the goal, and this takes practice, is to start thinking directly in English, even when you're alone, even when you're just thinking about what to make for dinner. Do it in English.
I actually tell people to narrate their life. Like, you're washing dishes, say to yourself, I'm washing the dishes. The water's warm. I'm almost done. That sounds silly, but it trains your brain to generate English automatically.
It really does, because fluency is just your brain getting so fast at producing English that it stops feeling like a translation. It just feels like talking.
And the more you do it internally, the more natural it becomes externally.
Beautifully put.
Thank you. I thought so.
Okay, number two, and this one I feel so strongly about. You have to make peace with making mistakes.
Tell me more.
So here's what I see happen all the time. Someone speaks English really well, but they're so terrified of getting something wrong, using the wrong tense, mispronouncing a word, that they just don't speak. They stay quiet, they avoid situations where they'd have to talk, and then they wonder why they're not improving.
It's like wanting to learn to swim, but being afraid to get wet.
Exactly that. And here's the thing, native speakers make mistakes too, all the time. People say, I seen it, instead of I saw it. People confuse there and there. People mispronounce words.
All the time.
All the time. And nobody cares that much. People are far more focused on what you're saying than how perfectly you're saying it.
The message matters more than the grammar.
100%. Now, obviously, if you're in a professional setting, you want to be as precise as possible. But in everyday conversation, speak. Make the mistake, correct yourself, and move on. The confidence of speaking outweighs the perfection of silence. Every time.
I love that. Write that down, people. The confidence of speaking outweighs the perfection of silence.
All right, number three, and this one is super practical. Learn phrases and chunks, not just individual words.
Yes, this is so underrated.
So most people, when they learn English, they build vocabulary. They learn words, chair, beautiful, responsible. And that's important. But what native speakers actually do, without even realizing it, is they speak in chunks, pre-made phrases that just come out automatically.
Right, like, to be honest with you, that makes sense. I was just about to say that. Let me think about it. These aren't things you construct word by word, you just say them as one unit.
And when you learn these chunks and you practice them until they're automatic, your speech immediately sounds more natural, more fluent, because you're not building the sentence from scratch every single time.
And you sound like someone who actually uses the language, not someone who's translating a textbook.
So the homework here, and yes, we give homework on this podcast,
We absolutely do.
is to start collecting phrases. Every time you hear a native speaker say something that sounds natural and effortless, write it down. That's a good point. I can see where you're coming from. It's not a big deal. Build your phrase bank and then use them.
Use them. Don't just collect them. Use them in real conversations. Use them when you're journaling. Use them when you're talking to yourself.
Which again, we fully endorse. Talking to yourself is underrated.
Extremely underrated.
Okay, I want to talk about listening now because I think people massively underestimate how important listening is for speaking.
Say more.
So here's the thing. Your output, what you say, is directly shaped by your input, what you hear. The more high-quality English you consume, the more high-quality English comes out of you naturally.
It's like cooking, right? If you only ever eat junk food, you don't really develop a palate for good ingredients. But if you're constantly exposed to great food,
You start knowing what good tastes like. Yes, same thing. If you're constantly listening to native speakers, real conversations, podcasts, TV shows, movies, your ears starts to calibrate. You start to notice rhythm, tone, intonation, the music of the language.
and then, without even trying, that music starts coming out when you speak.
Exactly. And the key word here is actively listen. Don't just have it on in the background. Actually listen. Notice how sentences are structured. Notice the pauses. Notice which words get stressed.
And if you're watching something with subtitles, try turning them off sometimes. Let your ear do the work. It's hard at first, but it builds your listening muscle.
And a stronger listening muscle means better comprehension in real conversations, which means less panic, which means more confidence.
It all connects.
It all connects. All right, number 5. And this one is about the physical side of speaking English, which people almost never talk about.
Ooh, I'm curious where you're going with this.
So English has sounds in it that don't exist in many other languages. The th sound, like in think or that. The short I sound, like in sit versus seat. The way Americans reduce their vowels, so butter sounds almost like butter.
The schwa sound, the unstressed vowel that shows up everywhere in English, and most learners just skip it.
Right. And here's the thing. If you're mispronouncing sounds, it takes more mental effort for the listener to understand you, which creates friction. And that friction, even subconsciously, makes the conversation feel harder for both people.
So the physical act of training your mouth, tongue placement, lip shape, breath support, is actually a fluency skill.
It is. And the good news is there's so much content online now for this. Videos that show you exactly where to put your tongue for different sounds. Slow motion mouth videos, which are weird but incredibly helpful.
Do the weird thing. It works.
Do the weird thing. It always works. Okay, we're almost at the halfway point of our tips, and I want to zoom out for a second because I think there's something really important that underlies all of this, and that's mindset. Because here's what I notice with people who struggle with speaking English confidently. It's not that they don't know enough English. A lot of the time, they know plenty. It's that they have this internal story running that says, my English isn't good enough, or they're going to judge me, or I'm going to sound stupid.
And that story creates anxiety, and anxiety shuts down fluency.
Completely. When you're anxious, your working memory, the part of your brain that's pulling up words and constructing sentences, is disrupted. It's like trying to run a program on a computer that's overheating.
So the first thing, before the vocabulary, before the grammar, before any of the techniques, is managing that inner voice.
And the way to manage it is to reframe the whole experience. Instead of, I must speak perfectly, try, I am practicing. Instead of, they might judge me, try, most people are actually rooting for me. Because that's the truth. Most people, when they see someone making the effort to speak in their second language, they're impressed. They're supportive.
Nobody's sitting there grading you.
Nobody. And even if someone is, that says everything about them and nothing about you.
Good mindset stuff. Let's keep going.
All right, tip 7. And this one, find your speaking environment. And by that, I mean create regular opportunities to actually speak English.
Because a lot of people are consuming English all day, reading, listening, watching, but they're not actually speaking it. And those are different skills.
You can be an incredible reader and still struggle to form sentences under pressure, because speaking in real time with another person with no delete button, that's its own skill.
So you have to practice it in the actual conditions where you'll use it.
And the good news is there's so many ways to do this now. Language exchange apps, where you talk to native English speakers who want to learn your language. Online conversation tutors. English-speaking groups in your city. Even just finding a friend and agreeing to speak only English for an hour.
Or honestly, video journaling. Set your camera on yourself, press record, and just talk about your day, about a topic you're interested in, about what you want to achieve this year. Watch it back. You'll notice things you can improve without anyone judging you.
That takes